Diana was an icon. She revolutionized what was around her.
This morning, a new look at the People's Princess.
Exactly who she was, exactly how she died, the legacy she's left us.
Alien King Charles has stepped down from the throne, declaring, "I'm ready," as Prince William announces his readiness to ascend.
King Charles just shared something that stunned everyone during a press conference, explaining why their sister was kept hidden. For years, there have been whispers about a missing piece in the royal family's story, but now the truth has come out. The truth about Princess Diana's role as a sister has finally been revealed, shedding light on why it remained hidden for so long. Will this new information change what people thought about Diana? The implications of this confession will tear apart the royal family for generations to come. A life behind closed doors. Diana, known as the People's Princess, led a life full of both fascination and heartache. She was born Diana Frances Spencer on the 1st of July 1961 to a family of British nobility. Despite growing up in the luxurious settings of her family's large estates, Diana's childhood was overshadowed by emotional struggles. Before we dive deeper, it's becoming clear that this hidden chapter of Diana's life is far more shocking than anyone ever suspected, and what comes next will leave you speechless. Her parents' divorce was bitter and had a deep impact on her, shaping her empathy for others who were emotionally hurting. Initially taught at home, Diana later went to various boarding schools, including the renowned West Heath Girls' School. She wasn't much of a scholar, but she was good at music, dance, and sports. At 16, she left school, moved to London, and worked as an assistant in a kindergarten. It was around this time that she started to get media attention because of her noble background and increasing connections to the British royal family. Her life changed dramatically when she began dating Prince Charles, who was next in line to be king in the late 1970s. The media was all over their relationship from the start. Charles, nearly 13 years older than Diana, was under huge pressure to find a bride who fit the royal expectations. Diana, young, beautiful, and from a noble family, was seen as the perfect match. Their engagement in February 1981 turned her into an international sensation. In a candid interview in 1995 with BBC's Martin Bashir, Diana opened up about how the pressures of being part of the royal family added to her personal struggles. She talked about feeling alone and unsupported, and she mentioned that her eating disorder was a way for her to have control over something in her life when everything else seemed out of control. Her marriage also contributed to her mental stress. It quickly became obvious that Charles and Diana were not a good match. They looked like a happy couple to the public, but in private, they dealt with a lot of problems. A big issue was Charles's ongoing relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, whom he had dated before Diana and remained close to during their marriage. Diana famously said in her BBC interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," referring to Charles's affair with Camilla. Despite these personal issues, Diana devoted herself to her royal duties and became famous for her kindness and her commitment to charity work. She had a special way of connecting with ordinary people, and she was especially known for her work with AIDS patients at a time when the disease was heavily stigmatized. In 1987, she made headlines worldwide when she shook hands with an AIDS patient without gloves, helping to change the incorrect belief that the disease could spread through casual contact. This moment was a turning point in how both Diana and AIDS were viewed by the public and the media. Diana's relationship with the press also captivated the public. While she often suffered from media intrusion, especially by paparazzi, Diana knew how to use the media to her advantage. She was clever in how she interacted with the press to shape her public image and promote her charitable causes. Her 1995 interview with Martin Bashir, where she openly discussed her marriage, mental health, and life inside the royal family, was a strategic move. This interview changed how the public saw Diana and the royal family. Diana was also very protective of her 2 sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Despite her difficult relationship with the royal family, she wanted her sons to have a normal childhood. She often took them on outings away from the royal estates to show them life outside the palace walls. This approach had a lasting effect on both William and Harry, who have talked about how their mother's views influenced their own ideas on charity, mental health, and public service. Just when it seemed like everything about Diana was known, her impact on the world only grew stronger after she was gone, in ways that still matter today. Diana's legacy still inspires the world. Since her Diana's legacy has continued to grow. She is remembered not just as a fashion icon and a loved public figure, but also as a pioneer in humanitarian work. Her sons, William and Harry, have continued many of her efforts, particularly her work in mental health awareness and her campaign to ban landmines. Diana's life was a mix of privilege and pain, victory and tragedy, lived under the intense scrutiny of the public. While she faced many challenges, she also used her position to make a significant impact on the world. Her was a profound loss, but her legacy as the people's princess continues to inspire people all over the world. Diana's life, marked by both great happiness and deep sadness, left an unforgettable mark on the world. Her compassion, resilience, and dedication to humanitarian causes continue to motivate people, even after her early death. Diana's legacy lives on through her sons and the countless lives she touched. As the people's princess, she remains a symbol of grace, empathy, and strength, always remembered for her courage in the face of difficulties and her unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. In an unexpected development, King Charles III has resigned as the monarch of the British royal family. This shocking decision has sent waves through the United Kingdom and across the globe. Camilla, Queen Consort, has been reported to be deeply moved by this event, with insiders saying she is very upset. This significant change marks a historic moment in British history, shaping the future of the monarchy in ways that were previously unthinkable. The news broke after many closed-door talks among the royal family, ending with the king choosing to give up his crown. The word that King Charles III is stepping down as the leader of the British royal family has spread far and wide, marking a major turn in this long-standing institution. This unexpected decision came after lots of private conversations among the royal members. The seriousness of this event is clear, as folks close to Buckingham Palace have shared that Queen Consort Camilla has been deeply affected by this decision, with reports noting she has shed tears over these recent events. King Charles's choice to relinquish his title has rattled the core of the monarchy and left the general public and royal followers quite surprised. Having spent years readying himself as the heir, Charles took the throne after the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Although his time as king was short, it was characterized by his efforts to bring the monarchy up to speed with the changing British society. However, his decision to step down marks a major break from royal tradition, where leaving the throne is unusual and typically has significant repercussions. In the days before this announcement, there were rumors of stress and uncertainty within the royal household. Insiders have suggested that Charles was facing increasing pressure both from his family and external parties to rethink his position. The king's health, public opinions, and the future of the monarchy were reportedly at the heart of these discussions. Despite these challenges, many thought Charles would continue to carry out his royal duties. However, his final decision to step down shows the heavy considerations he had to face. Camilla, who has been Charles's partner for decades, is reported to have been particularly impacted by the decision. As Queen Consort, she has faced her own challenges and scrutiny from the public. The idea of Charles stepping down has added a personal strain, increasing the emotional toll on her. Those close to the couple have noted Camilla's visible distress as she struggles to adjust to this new phase in their lives. Her tears are a testament to how deeply this decision has impacted those within the royal circle. The effects of King Charles's abdication are wide-ranging and complex. For the royal family, it signifies an abrupt change in the succession line, with Prince William now expected to assume the role of king much earlier than planned. This transition is likely to have far-reaching impacts on the monarchy, as William's approach to the future may significantly differ from his father's. The British populace is also processing this news, trying to come to terms with the idea of another leadership change so soon after Queen Elizabeth's passing. A big change is about to happen in the royal family, with effects that will reach far beyond Britain. Why Charles gave up the crown. On a global scale, this decision has elicited responses from leaders and royal families around the world. In a stunning development, King Charles III has resigned from his role as the monarch of the British royal family. This groundbreaking move has sent shockwaves across the United Kingdom and internationally. Camilla, Queen Consort, has reportedly been profoundly affected by this shift, with sources close to the palace describing her as being in tears. This decision stands as a crucial moment in British history, altering the future of the monarchy in ways that were once hard to imagine. When King Charles decided to step down, it shook things up big time. For the royals, it means that Prince William has to get ready to be king a lot sooner than everyone thought. This big change might really switch things up for how the monarchy looks in the future, since William might have different plans than his dad. Over in Britain, folks are trying to wrap their heads around having a new king so soon after Queen Elizabeth passed away. And this isn't just making waves in the UK. Leaders in royal families all around the world are paying close attention. The British monarchy is usually all about keeping things steady and the same, and it's not every day that a king steps down. This rare event has got people everywhere watching closely to see what happens next in the UK. They want to understand why Charles would give up the throne and what it means for this famous institution. Since the news broke, there's been a lot of talk and guesswork in the media. People are trying to figure out if Charles left because of health issues or if he just thought it was time to let the younger folks take over. The public's view on Charles has gone up and down over the years, and some think he stepped down because he felt it was better for the monarchy in the long run. Now, Prince William and his wife, Catherine, might have to start taking on more responsibilities. Charles stepping down has left the royal family and the whole country in a bit of a reflective and uncertain mood. This decision, mixing personal, family, and public reasons, is something we haven't seen much before. The monarchy has faced a lot of challenges, but this could be a real turning point that could change what the future of the British royals looks like. Before the big news, there were hints that things weren't all great inside the royal household. Those who kept a close eye on things noticed that Charles wasn't quite his usual self. His public appearances seemed less lively. Inside the palace, the pressures of being king seemed to be getting to him. Even though nothing was said out loud at first, there were whispers about Charles struggling with the demands of his job. And his health worries didn't help, especially with the political scene in the UK getting more complicated. It's said that King Charles talked things over with the people he trusts most, including other royals and close friends. These talks were full of emotion as Charles tried to balance his duties with what was going on in his personal life. He thought about how his decision would impact the monarchy, his family, and the whole country. In the end, it looks like Charles felt that stepping down was the most responsible and respectable thing to do. For Queen Consort Camilla, this has been a really tough time. She's known for being tough and supportive, always there for Charles through the good and bad times, but the idea of him giving up the throne really hit her hard. Her reaction shows how personal and deep these decisions go, beyond just the official stuff. Her tears are about more than just worrying for Charles. They're about the big changes they're now facing together after planning for their future roles for so long. With this change comes both hope and questions, and now everyone is watching to see how Prince William will lead. A fresh start for the royal family. With all this going on, the royal family has to figure out how to deal with this big change. Prince William, who's been slowly getting ready to be king one day, now needs to speed things up. His becoming king is expected to bring new ideas and energy to the monarchy, which might be just what's needed to keep up with a modern, diverse Britain. But it's not going to be easy. William has to find a way to keep the old traditions while also making changes that some people think are needed for the monarchy to keep going strong in the 21st century. As everyone tries to get used to this huge change, reactions are all over the place. Some are sad and feeling nostalgic, especially those who have always stood by Charles, appreciating his dedication and his efforts to tackle big issues like climate change and social inequality. Others are hopeful, curious to see what William will do as king. Even though the British public can be pretty critical of the monarchy, there's still a lot of respect for its role in the country's identity. The next few months are going to be crucial for seeing how this transition goes and what it means for keeping the monarchy relevant in a world that keeps changing fast. On a global scale, Charles's decision to give up the throne has led to all sorts of reactions. Royals in other parts of Europe are showing their support, understanding how tough this decision must have been for him. The scene on Brick Lane when Charles stepped out of his black Range Rover was something else. It was like everything paused for a moment. The king, who usually keeps to himself, was about to do something that would light up social media and grab everyone's attention. When he walked into Gram Bangla, a simple Bangladeshi restaurant, no one saw it coming. What went down after King Charles entered this spot, known for its vibrant food scene and cultural mix? Let's dive into what happened right after King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla popped into Gram Bangla, a spot that's part of the buzzing curry scene on Brick Lane. On a chilly afternoon in February, the royal couple unexpectedly dropped by a local eatery, catching both the patrons and staff off guard. King Charles, dressed in his usual suit, managed to create a warm and inviting environment, which was quite different from the typical reserved aura you'd expect from someone of his royal stature. As he made his way around the restaurant, chatting with folks, the initial shock of having royalty in their midst quickly turned into a buzz of excitement among both the diners and the staff. The events that followed would soon captivate the entire country. King Charles, who's typically known for his reserved nature, effortlessly engaged with everyone in the restaurant. He exchanged warm greetings with the owner, Shams Uddin, who has been a fixture in the community for over 2 decades. The king's genuine interest in the restaurant's story and its offerings was clear. The highlight of his visit came when he wandered over to the counter, intrigued by what he saw. "What's that you're making?" he asked, pointing to a blender in action. "It's a mango lassi, Your Majesty," the young server answered. Spontaneously, Charles asked if he could try making the drink himself. The restaurant staff, too stunned to react otherwise, simply nodded as the King of England rolled up his sleeves and stepped behind the counter. Watching a monarch do such an everyday task was a unique sight for everyone present, and they quickly took out their phones to capture the moment. As news of the royal visit spread, social media platforms were abuzz with comments and videos. The footage of King Charles making a mango lassi spread quickly, garnished with popular hashtags. This rare glimpse into his down-to-earth demeanor resonated with people globally, showcasing a side of him that's seldom seen during his formal appearances. What was initially just a quick stop on a tour through East London morphed into a viral phenomenon. The visit to Grand Bangla revealed a more approachable, curious, and engaging side of King Charles, one that seemed eager to connect with the diverse cultures within the UK. Observers felt that this moment marked a turning point, symbolizing a British monarchy that was more relatable and accessible to the public. Could there be more hidden family stories waiting to be uncovered? Or is this just the beginning of a much bigger royal cover-up? What do you think about this stunning revelation from King Charles? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.